Good evening and welcome to the Advisory Finance Committee meeting for September 11th, 2024, meeting at the Great Hall in Town Hall in Plymouth. Before we begin this evening's proceedings, I want to make note that today is the 24th anniversary of September 11, and I want to just take a brief moment of silence, actually 24 seconds long, to honor and remember those who were affected and continue to be affected by September 11th. Thank you. So, call this meeting to order. This meeting is a hybrid meeting, likely to be conducted with some participants attending physically and others attending virtually via video conference application. Ways to watch include airing on Comcast 9, Verizon 47, or on the local scene streaming channel, www.youtube.com/@PlymouthMeetingSLS. Any speaker giving public comment is allotted up to 5 minutes in which to speak. Comment may be made at the beginning or end of each meeting or in regard to a particular agenda item the speaker wishes to be heard on. The Zoom log information, anyone wants to attend virtually, including members of the public who wish to give public comment, can join via the Zoom application by downloading the Zoom meeting app on your device. Press click on join, entering the meeting ID 995-2986-0638, and then the meeting password 100131. Or join via the website. It requires a microphone. Go to www.zoom.us, click join a meeting, and on the top right-hand side, enter the meeting ID 995-2986-0638, and then the meeting password 100131. Or for telephone voice only, you can dial 929-205-6099, and again, the meeting ID is 995-2986-0638, and the meeting password is 10031. Before we begin the roll call this evening, there has been a change to the agenda that you may have not received. We're only going to hear Article 4 this evening. Articles 7 and 8 are deferred until next Wednesday, September 17th, due to a sudden illness of the presenter. So with that, I'll take the roll. Ms. Butler, are you here?
I am here.
All right. Mr. Dunn?
Here, while driving, but I'll be somewhere in a minute.
Okay. Mr. Jacinto?
Here.
All right. Ms. Keating?
Here.
All right. I'm here, I think. Mr. Malaguti? Not here. Ms. O'Connor?
Here.
Mr. Pizarro?
Here.
Mr. Ramey?
Here.
Mr. Renat? Okay, Mr. Renat, not here. Ms. Richards?
Here.
Mr. Snyder?
Here.
Ms. Tompkins?
Here.
Mr. Trudell?
Here.
And Mr. Vecchi is absent due to a work commitment. All right, so we have quorum. Thank you very much. All right, this is the first opportunity for public comment. Does anyone in this room wish to make a public comment? And I see no one virtually at the moment. And stand by for just one moment. I need to join via Zoom. Sorry I didn't do this sooner, but I was actually at another meeting, building committee meeting. And Mr. Malaguti has joined at 5 after the hour. Great. All right. Do we have any, we have no meeting minutes tonight to approve, is that correct? Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to read into the meeting Article 4. Great, that would be great, all right. Article 4, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, or borrow a sum of money for the construction and/or repair or purchase and/or lease and/or replacement of departmental buildings and/or equipment and/or capital facilities for various departments of the town, and for feasibility and other types of studies, and to authorize contracts or lease purchase agreements for such purposes for terms of 3 or more years. As follows, it'll be Water Division, Energy Environment with 3 items, Airport with 2 items, Public Works with 3 items, and Ms. Butler, would you care to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to sever Article 4 into individual line items.
All right, and is there a second?
Seconded.
All right, so that's a first by Ms. Butler and a second by Ms. Tompkins to sever Article 4 into the individual line items. Is there any discussion among the committee members? Seeing none, Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Ms. Keating?
Yes. Yes.
I have you as a yes. I have a little feedback here we're dealing with, right? Mr. Malaguti?
Yes.
All right. Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Mr. Ramey?
Yes.
Mr. Renaud's not here. Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trudell?
Yes.
All right, and the tally is? 12 yes, 0 no's, and no abstentions. All right, so with that, we will begin with Article A1, Water Division purchase of a hydro excavator, and I believe Mr. Gordon is here to present that item. Welcome, Mr. Gordon.
Good evening, everyone. Pete Gordon, Plymouth DPW Water Division Superintendent. As I'm sure you're aware, I am here tonight seeking your recommendation for the purchase of a hydro excavator. This highly specialized piece of equipment comes at a cost of $648,730. I've just received some good news from Lynn. If we use some money from some leftover projects from the Water Division, we can reduce that price, or at least what we borrow, by half. I think we're looking at about $350,000-ish, which was great news. That cost is based on a quote that we received back in June. We did add 10% contingency to this request to, account for any added escalation cost. This machine's been on the Water Division's 10-year capital plan for several years. I don't think we were planning on seeking funding for this machine until not next year, but I think the year after. But based on some recent changes to the lead and copper rule, requiring us to do a significant amount of digging, I can give more detail on that. We've decided to bump it up a little bit. So last October, the EPA made some changes to the lead and copper rule, requiring us to submit what's called a service line inventory. Plymouth has approximately 15,000 service connections, and we were required to find out what all of those service lines are made out of on both sides. The service line has 2 sides. We call it the public side, which is the side the town is responsible for, and the private side, or that side that the customer or the homeowner would be responsible for. Upon completion of that inventory, It was realized that there are about 2,500 services of an unknown material. The requirement by the EPA is that we identify that material by December of 2027. One of the best ways to do that, and one of the easiest ways to do that, is with a machine like the one I'm requesting tonight, through a process called potholing, by which you make a very small hole near the valve at the street. You can look at both sides of the service line, and you can identify the material on both sides. Other justifications for this machine include the following. Every year, the town averages, I went back in the annual reports to, I think, 2019. I could probably have gone farther, but the numbers seem pretty consistent. Every year, on average, the town has 10 events that require us to excavate and make a repair to a water main. Some of these are larger leaks, some of them are not so large, but at a minimum of 10 a year. Also, we repair about 20 service leaks per year, so there's another 30 events that we would need to utilize this piece of equipment. In addition to that, the Water Division repairs or replaces 5 to 7 hydrants per year, and we wind up digging, generally with an invasive excavator, 12 to 15 curb stops a year too, either to repair or replace them, or just to realign the curb box so that we can access that valve that is down below. Beyond 2027, when we get our inventory all squared away and we know what lines are made out of what materials, we will begin the process of removing all lead service lines from the system. It is unclear at this point exactly what form that's going to take, how it's going to be paid for, but we do know that if we had this machine replacing those lead service lines, it could be tremendously instrumental in reducing the cost of that and helping us to achieve that goal of eliminating all lead service lines in the distribution system. This machine will reduce man hours, including man hours on overtime. In some cases, in most cases, it will eliminate the need for larger, more intrusive equipment such as excavators or backhoes. But in summary, this hydro excavator will greatly benefit the Water Division by improving safety, increasing efficiency and reducing costs when repairing water mains, water services, and of course, identifying lead service lines. The precision and speed of this machine are invaluable to both routine maintenance and critical time-sensitive projects such as, when we need to shut down a neighborhood to make a repair. Nobody wants to be without their water for a tremendous period of time. I strongly recommend that the funding for this equipment will help really benefit the community and make everything, safer for my staff and more cost-effective as well.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee for Mr. Gordon, Mr. Snyder?
The cost of the machine, usually when there's building and things like that, there's always a contingency involved. Why is there a contingency on this particular thing for 10% of the cost?
So we have to prepare our budget in advance of being able to purchase this machine. In this political economic atmosphere, we have tariffs, we have things that we can't control. Just to prevent us from not being able to purchase the machine, we thought it would be safe to add that 10% contingency in case there's any cost escalation.
Okay, that makes sense. In terms of, I noticed it has a warranty on it up to 10 years and 5 years. And is any maintenance required? And if there is, what are the costs of that?
There is some maintenance, and I don't know 100% what all of it is. We did demo this machine back in, it was either late April or early May, and we did ask these questions. There are several filters on this thing, that they're water and air separator filters. I think they quoted us a cost of, I think it was $150 for each filter, or it was $200. So we're looking at $300 or $400 annually for these filters. I have been asked the question about what the annual operating cost of this machine will be. And I firmly believe that the savings from the operation of this machine will easily cover the cost of the maintenance and operation of it.
Okay, thank you. I have a question also through the chair to Ms. Barrett regarding a financial question. mentioned that they're going to be using some money from some old articles. I would like to have in front of me every article that's available in the past with money in it, so we'll know what that is before
So-
getting hit with it.
The sheet that we gave you that has the ranking, so the only two articles available for this particular project are the ones that we identified down here. So there's money left in a water meter replacement.
I understand in this particular department that that's what's available. I'm talking about generally.
I
There
think
are
you're
articles-
And
asking
we
for
provide
Burke's Law.
that in Burke's Law. We do provide that report to town meeting members in the Burke's Law report. Any old previously voted articles, balances are in there. Not that they're available to spend on other projects, but we do provide that report.
I understand they're codified by the departments and things. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Richards?
Good evening. I had asked, and I'm just going to ask for the record, as far as training, I didn't see it, and you answered my question, but just for the record, if you
Sure.
could answer it again,
Yeah.
thank you.
So I do have qualified members of my staff that I believe can step right in and operate this piece of equipment. However, it was explained to us during the demonstration that a significant amount of training would be provided with the delivery of this piece of equipment.
Very good. Also, I didn't ask this question. I assume it sits on a truck, or does it come with the truck?
It kind of is a truck.
It is a truck.
If you've
Okay.
ever seen the Highway Department's Vector, it is similar to that in terms of it's all one big truck.
Okay.
Just the configuration.
So it doesn't need an additional vehicle to
It does
sit on?
not.
And-
Could you say what a vector is, please, for those people on the committee and in the audience who don't know what that is?
Sure. So I think, in my
It's a catch
estimation.
basin cleaner, correct?
Sure. Hydro excavation technology, I think, has been around for it's been around for a very long time. But specializing in excavating with this type of machinery, I think is relatively new, 10 to 15 years. It's really become the new industry standard. It's the way things are getting done. But what this is essentially, it's a giant vacuum with a water tank where they pressurize the water. So we shoot pressurized water at the ground. It kind of liquefies the surface of the ground, turns sand into mud, and then a very powerful vacuum sucks it up into a large holding container on the back of this piece of equipment. I think this machine, I don't remember the exact size of the spoils tanks, but it's significant. Like, if we went out to do a job, we could bring just this vehicle and not need to bring an additional dump truck or something to haul spoils away. So yeah, basically, it digs a hole by using pressurized water and a very powerful vacuum.
And just one, sorry, thanks. How much water is used?
That's a good question. I think the tank I think it's a 400-gallon tank.
Okay.
And I'm sure that we could customize that if we wanted a larger one or a smaller one. But I think how much water that you're going to need or use on a particular job depends on the soil conditions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Dunn?
Thank you. Is this a new piece of equipment?
This would be a new piece of equipment, yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, any other, Mr. Jacinto?
I see the machine warranty. Is there a chassis warranty as well
I believe there is a chassis warranty with this.
from Western Star?
Yes.
And who does the maintenance on the chassis?
I would imagine it would be done at CN Wood.
Is that who does all of the vehicles that you have?
It doesn't do all of the Water Division vehicles, but most of the heavy equipment that the Highway Division has purchased, including their Vectors, have come from that
CN
company.
Wood. Okay.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Any other committee members have a question? All right, well, I'm actually been putting Mr. Gordon through the ringer the last couple of days, so I just want to elicit a couple of questions for the benefit of the committee that he's addressed. So first of all, I know you've called around and gotten day rates for these types of devices. Could you share with us what, roughly what those run?
So in lieu of purchasing this machine, we did reach out and got a day rate for contracting one of these machines. The day rate came in at $2,800 per day. And, you know, and based on that, and based on the work that we perceive that we can do and need to do with this machine, contracting the service did not seem like a viable option.
And I will just echo that I checked with my former colleagues at Northeastern today. We've been doing, well, they still are doing a lot of underground work, and the going rate in Boston is $3,000 a day. And about how many days a year do you expect you would be using this device for your, at least the initial project for lead pipe remediation and identification?
For the first 2 years, I would estimate that at a minimum, probably 160 days a year. Beyond that, I would say that this thing will roll out of the garage. First of all, it will roll out of the garage every time we have an issue. There's not a chance my staff is going to leave this piece of equipment behind if there's something that they have to dig or do. But I would imagine probably twice a week is a fair average. I'm not telling you that there won't be a week or two that we don't have to repair or replace something, but on average, I think it would be about 2 times a week.
So there's little chance that this will be sitting in the barn except in very cold weather.
And, as Mrs. Richards said, we would also offer the services of this machine to other departments as well. So if we're not using it and nobody else, I don't think it's going to have much downtime. I really don't.
So I'm going to stop my questions for a moment to recognize Mr. Dunn. Your hand is still up, sir.
I just never lowered it.
Okay, thank you. So if you do that math, at which Mr. Gordon did, that works out to somewhere in the vicinity of just under $400,000 a year for the first 2 years, which is the cost of the truck. Now, yes, there are operating costs, but I think he's done his homework. For me, it was a finance problem. I remember he said in the letter that he was very passionate about it, and I tend to be dispassionate about purchases. But on the other hand, I will speak from personal experience. I've used these devices over the last 10 years of my career. Could you just speak to the congestion underneath the roadway that you often find with utilities?
So I'm not sure if you guys got the packet, but
They did, but I just for those who may not be able to understand what they're looking at.
Yeah, so there is no requirement for utilities to remove their out-of-service pipes, wires, any of that equipment. And so as time goes on, so it's not bad enough right now, as time goes on, just to excavate in a road becomes incredibly difficult using an excavator with a bucket. You get in there are electrical duct banks. There are old and new gas lines. There are buried electrical lines. There's all nature of both in-service and abandoned utility equipment under there. And that's another place where the safety of a machine like this comes in. If you can vacuum around in between these things, you don't rip them out with the excavator bucket. Nobody gets electrocuted. We're not repairing fiber optic cables because we were able to successfully vacuum around them. It is incredibly challenging digging in any street, even the smallest ones. And it's getting more and more challenging every day as we continue to leave behind abandoned utilities.
All right. Any other questions from the committee? Is there anyone from the public would like to ask about this article or line item? All right, seeing and hearing none, we'll move into discussion. Is there any discussion on the committee? That's right, I need to make a motion first. I'm sorry. So, starting out this evening, Mr. Jacinto, would you care to move Article 4, Item A1?
I'll move it forward.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Keating, would you care to make a second?
Second.
All right, I think I barely heard a second. If you could just raise your hand.
Sorry,
Thank you,
second.
got it. All right, wonderful. So we have a first from Mr. Jacinto, a second from Ms. Keating on Article A1. Is there any discussion among the board members? Yes, Ms. Richards.
So I am going to fully support this piece of equipment. After having watched several YouTube videos today, watching this piece of equipment in action, I was very impressed by it, in addition to working on Russell Street for 20 years. and seeing the big mess that is underground, and every time there's construction, we would lose water, and we would have no water. So whenever there's construction on Russell Street, we would all race to go to the ladies' room and make coffee after that. So I think it's going to be invaluable for the water department, invaluable for DPW, invaluable for the residents in town. So thank you for your efforts.
All right, any other? All right, so I too, first of all, I want to compliment Mr. Gordon for doing his homework. And as I said, I put him through a little bit of a ringer the last couple of days, but I appreciate the effort you've put into this and the research you put into this. And so I would encourage my colleagues to support this article. Any other comments, questions? All right, seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Ms. Keating?
Yes.
All right, I think I heard a yes.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Malaguti?
Yes.
All right, Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Okay, I heard a yes there too. Mr. Ramey?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
An enthusiastic yes.
Great. Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trudell?
Yes.
All right, I believe we have a unanimous 12-4, 0 opposed, 0 abstention. Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, second project is Energy and Environment, item A3, Coastal Resiliency Pilot Project. Please say your name and...
Good evening, and thank you for having me. My name is Michael Cahill. I'm the Climate Resiliency and Sustainability Planner for the town. Here I'm to talk to you about two capital requests tonight. First, starting with our Coastal Resiliency Project. Both of these projects are directly aligned with our Climate Action and Adaptation Plan, which was approved by the Select Board in 2024. And both of these are working with innovative solutions to combat and mitigate the effects of climate change in Plymouth. This first request is our Coastal Resiliency Pilot Program, working with an insurance innovation hub called Insure out of Boston. We're working with them on an AI insurance innovation solution with the goal of creating a community-embedded insurance modeling program for the downtown area. Plymouth is blessed with 37 miles of coastline, which offers us great recreational amenities and economic opportunity. However, also it carries with it significant risk when it comes to climate change. 9% or 1,561 total buildings, total structures in Plymouth are located within an area that is vulnerable to a 100-year flood. Additionally, 81% of our town facilities are located within a flood zone. In Massachusetts from 1980, there has roughly been $15 billion of climate-related disasters. If projections increase the way that we expect them to, by 2070, we expect that number to increase to $1 billion per year. Historically, the insurance market has been an effective way at transferring risk from homeowners and property owners to financial markets. But unfortunately, when it comes to climate change, the insurance market has not adapted well. This has led to increasing premiums in coastal areas, creating gaps in coverage for residential property owners. Therefore, it's more important than ever that municipalities begin to look at physical ways to adapt to climate change, but also administrative ways of doing so. And with this project, our goal is to build an AI-driven total cost of risk simulator, which we can use to create a community-embedded insurance program that improves the accessibility of insurance for residential and business owners, and also the affordability of that insurance. This map here shows, is included within the master planning documents, and it shows the flooding risk by 2030, 2050, and 2070 for 100-year floods in the downtown area. Working with Insure, like I mentioned, they're a group out of Boston, an insurance innovation hub. They've already greenlit a pilot program with the city of Salem. This would be the second of its kind in Massachusetts and one of the, I believe, the fifth of its kind in the United States. For Salem, they were able to consolidate all their data within their downtown area and create a total cost of risk simulator, looking at the economic and social risk associated with flooding risks. With this project, we're going to be doing something very similar. Additionally, like I mentioned earlier, we'll be implementing what is called a community-embedded insurance approach. This is very similar in strategy to our electricity aggregation rate, where the town offers an insurance plan. By bundling insurance with multiple homeowners and business owners in that area, we can ensure that they're effectively covered for the risks that are associated with that area. Moreover, by bundling consumers together, we can drive down costs for our residents. This is a screenshot of the program that Salem's been able to build, where homeowners can look at their individual properties. They can see the risks that each of these properties face, and it gives them options in terms of physical adaptation measures they can do to reduce these risks. So benefits of this project, improving the accessibility, making sure that residents are insured, and helping mitigate increasing risks associated with climate change. By having a community-embedded insurance, we can improve the reliability, having a town-sponsored plan, getting more people to sign up for insurance. Additionally, decreasing costs, like I mentioned earlier, bundling consumers together onto a plan that the town offers will be able to drive down the cost by increasing our purchasing power. Nature-based solutions, mitigation techniques that we use, say if it's barrier beach improvements out at Long Beach dune nourishment. Oftentimes, small projects like that are not captured in individual insurance premiums. By having a bundled program, we have multiple consumers. They're all being affected by the same mitigation technique. We can use that to effectively drive down premiums even farther. And then finally, loss reserves. If there is a catastrophic storm event in the downtown area, having more properties that are effectively insured for the right risks and for the right costs will allow the town to bounce back quicker and reduce financial risk for the town. So in total for this request, we're requesting $32,715. The total project cost is $327,150, excuse me. We've applied to a CZM Coastal Resiliency Program grant for $294,435. That grant is currently pending. Should that grant not move forward, we would postpone this project and not move forward with this request within this this capital item. This fall town meeting request of $32,715 is all coming from the Environmental Affairs Fund and will serve as 10% match for that grant. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any.
Actually, Ms. Richards, go ahead.
Did this, so you said Salem
Correct.
signed on to this? Have they seen any increase in their insurance rates?
So they're still working through their program. I think they have about a year left. They're probably 6 months ahead of us in the process.
Okay.
Really, what they're looking to do is do an audit to figure out gaps in the insurance market, to figure out residential properties that aren't insured and should be insured. From there, they're going to use it to create the community-embedded insurance program like we were just talking about. But in other places across the country, a community-embedded insurance market has driven down premiums for residents, yes.
Driven them down?
Correct.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Other questions? Yes, Mr. Ramey.
So it says there's a few town responsibilities, among them designated project manager.
Correct.
Have those people been identified?
That would be our team in sustainability and resiliency, myself and Sarah McCormick, who is our natural resource and sustainability specialist, who splits half her time between natural resources and sustainability work.
And that work's manageable? You don't think you're going to need to hire someone else?
Correct. No.
All right, Ms. Keating, I see your digital hand is up.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can barely hear you. If you could get near the microphone, or
I'm not sure. Can you hear me now? I'm not sure why it's quiet. It says-
that's better. So try that.
Yeah? It's okay?
Yeah,
Sorry.
we'll be quiet
Okay.
on this end.
Okay, sorry. So I understand the benefits of the project and the use of AI in this arena and the benefits of it. I also know that there are hugely negative impacts on the environment from the use of AI, and I'm just wondering if you're, as someone who's working on kind of climate resiliency, if you have any concerns around promoting the use of AI because of its negative climate impacts.
That's a great question. I could talk all day about this, but When it comes to AI, there's definitely a large drain on energy systems, creating additional emissions that are going up into the atmosphere. The town is proactive to reduce our emissions by switching to renewable energy sources. Within our climate action and adaptation plan, we have a goal of reaching net zero by 2050. Currently, 46% of all town emissions come from the buildings and energy sector, and we're actively working on adaptation and mitigation solutions to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions that we're putting up into the atmosphere. So that is definitely an issue with AI, and everything that we're doing in town is we're trying to introduce more renewable energy sources to decrease emissions associated with energy production.
All right. Any other questions? Mr. Ramey?
So with the AI stuff, do you have any physical ability to input stuff to train it, or is it all the company and you just kind of get to direct them?
Yeah, so the way that Ensure uses the model, they're going to take climate projections and use, that's what the AI is really going to be looking at, climate projections in spatial location of properties. So, you know, those climate projections are constantly changing and adapting. Manual data that's being inputted is going to be very little. It's mostly drawing from large databases that are looking at weather projections.
Is this a one-time cost? Is there like an annual subscription fee for?
Yeah, so this is to give us a sense of the feasibility of the community embedded insurance program. If this is successful and it proves to be something that is feasible for Plymouth, we would work with an insurer, a large insurer that would be able to accommodate the town's load, and we would evaluate the price of a community embedded insurance model at that point. It would be very similar, like I mentioned, with our aggregation, where we work with a large developer that has the power available. So I don't envision the cost being prohibitive when it comes to setting up a program like that. But there could be a potential cost after this.
Thanks.
Other questions? All right, I have one. Is one possible outcome of the study identifying properties should they be damaged to not rebuild on those particular sites?
So I will say, with the total cost of risk simulator, we'll be able to identify and prioritize town-owned facilities to reduce risk on. When it comes to private properties, we will not be drawing any conclusions that the town would act on. It would inform homeowners and business owners, though, of areas that might be unfavorable for properties in the future.
Right, I just know for inland projects where they've dealt with river flooding, some municipalities have identified areas that they will not issue new building permits for if there's damage to the property.
Yeah.
As a result of flooding.
We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
This initial study, this pilot, will just help us gather data to reduce risk for residents.
All right.
Yeah.
So step one.
Correct.
All right, great. Any further questions from the committee? Is there anyone from the public that would like to ask a question about line A3? Seeing none present, seeing none virtually. Mr. Malaguti, would you care to make a motion to approve line A3 Coastal Resiliency Project?
So moved.
All right, and Ms. O'Connor, would you care to make a second?
Seconded.
All right, we have a first from Mr. Malaguti. We have a second from Ms. O'Connor. Is there discussion among the board? Mr. Malaguti?
Yes, I'm fully in support of this project. This project not only will help to decrease risks in the future to municipal and private property, but it will also help, one, inform residents, but also, two, help them equip the data needed for either repairs due to events that would likely happen in the future, give them better protocols for better building measures, and also, two, is a step for us to help with the possibility of a municipal aggregation in a way that we have with the energy for an insurance rate as well, too. So I think this is a triple win solution, not just for the town, but for residents, for cost savings, but also for readiness. Thank you.
Any other committee members wish to say anything? All right, hearing and saying none. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dunn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto,
Yes.
Ms. Keating,
Yes.
she said yes, okay, great. Mr. Malaguti,
Yes.
all right, and Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
I heard a yes, all right, Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
all right, Ms. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Snyder,
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins.
Yes.
Mr. Trudell.
Yes.
All right, we have 12 yes, 0 no's, no abstentions, motion carries. On to item A4, Great Herring Pond Water Quality Project. The floor is yours.
Great, thank you. Additionally, this is our second request. This is the Great Herring Pond Watershed Quality Program. Once again, this is a pilot project with a clean tech startup. This company is based out of San Diego. They're called Caipano Solutions. They have an innovative solution for stormwater filtration. We're going to be working with them on a pilot and treatment of stormwater at Eagle Hill Drive, which is located on Great Herring Pond. Great Herring Pond is one of our 83 great ponds in town. In total, it is 376 acres. Once again, like I mentioned with a Plymouth coastline, this area offers significant recreational benefits to the town and the people that live on the ponds. Additionally, there is a large boat ramp there that supports the South Shore region as a whole. In 2020, a watershed management plan was created for the Great Herring Pond area. Within that plan, it showed that nitrogen pollution and total suspended solids were one of the largest issues facing the pond, contributing to water quality and cyanobacteria blooms. Within this project, we're going to be offering a way to provide additional stormwater treatment for water flowing directly into the pond. Caipano Solutions has a pass-through stormwater filtration system that has multiple chambers, as you can see here on the left-hand side. Water will flow down through these grates from chamber to chamber. Each chamber has an individualized filter. These mesh filters are highly adaptable, and they can be used to treat individualized pollutants. So if we know that there is an area that, say, has high nitrogen levels, we can put specific nitrogen filters into this solution and help effectively capture and isolate that nitrogen a little bit more strategically. This system will tie directly into the curb or in gutter line, and these grates on top will allow water to pass down through. Within this pilot, we're going to be evaluating 2 stormwater basins at the bottom of Eagle Hill Drive, where water commonly pools during high flooding event, high precipitation events. This will serve as an auxiliary treatment function as it will tie directly into the existing stormwater drain. Working with the engineering department in DPW, we identified this location on Eagle Hill Drive as a place to test these solutions. And additionally, we're going to be working with TDML Solutions and University of Dartmouth to test pre and post to effectively gauge the efficacy of this treatment solution. If it shows to be effective, this is a still stormwater solution that we could use at other locations across town. Benefits, implementing green infrastructure. Like I mentioned, this is a full capture filtration system, improved water quality in the pond, decreasing maintenance costs. These grates can be easily removed and vacuumed out, decreasing maintenance costs and the amount of time needed to clean these solutions. And once again, quantifiable results. We'll be working with UMass Dartmouth to tease out the efficacy of this installation. In total, we're requesting $11,000. The total project cost is $61,655. Once again, we've applied for a CZM grant through the Coastal Habitat and Water Quality Grant Program. We applied for a $50,655 grant. Once again, this is pending. We are waiting to hear back if we have received this grant. If we're not successful in that grant application, we will withdraw this request. And this project will not move forward, and our request is 18% serving as local match for the project. And if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right, any questions from the committee on this item? Yes, Mr. Malaguti.
Thank you. So the total cost of this, does that include any replacement filters as well too, or those are additional costs
So those would be an additional cost. We have the filters that would be in place and used. There are a few extra, but to continue the project going on beyond the 1 year, we would have to buy some more filters. The filters are not what the main cost is with the project.
Okay, and what's the expected lifespan of those filters?
The lifespan of the filters, I believe it is 5 years. I would have to check back with Kaipano Solutions. They're being made custom for this site. We're using both total suspended solids, nitrogen, and phosphorus filters within our design.
Thank you. And one last question I have for this is, if this is successful, obviously you would want more deployment of this in other strategic areas, but would there be a possibility of due to either cost or maintenance issues, would there be a possibility of combining these systems with bump out rain gardens as well too along the storm basins to help out as a natural process instead of, while I think the technology is great, I've looked at similar ones that have been developed in the past that those companies unfortunately have folded that had other structures, but that the cost could become an impediment depending on how many we have to do. So I was wondering in the future, if it is successful, would you tie mechanical and natural systems into the process?
There's definitely an option to tie in nature-based solutions with green infrastructure like this. It would have to be site dependent. We would want to make sure that we're using this in the correct location, but there's definitely an option to use this as an auxiliary treatment method at other locations.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Ramey?
Let's say this company stopped making the filters, or they went out of business or something. Can you operate these and just vacuum them out and it would be fine indefinitely, or just take the filters out and have the grate on top and have a storm drain?
So the filters are actually coming from a third party. They're not generated by Kaipano Solutions. What is innovative about this company is their pass-through filter design, the actual structure of the stormwater system. It's not the filters. The filters are highly regular, let's just say.
Cool, thanks.
Mr. Trudeau?
I may have missed it, but it's going to remove nitrogen and phosphorus. Without a lot of detail, can you just give me an overview of how that works?
How the filters work? So the filters are engineered. Each filter is a little bit different with different goals in mind. The way that the nitrogen and the phosphorus ones work specifically, I could get back to you with details. Like I said, the innovative thing about this solution is the pass-through system, not the filters. Nitrogen and phosphorus filters are used at other locations with other stormwater systems. The unique thing about this one is the pass-through. So I can definitely get back to you with exactly the filters that we're going to be using and the design for them.
It won't be necessary to get back to me. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions from the committee? Seeing and hearing none, is there anyone from the public who would like to ask a question about item A4? All right. Seeing and hearing none, then we'll move on. Mr. Pizarro, would you care to make a motion to pass Article A4, Great Herring Pond Water Quality Project?
So moved.
All right, and Mr. Ramey, would you care to second?
I second the motion.
All right, so we have a first from Mr. Pizarro, a second from Mr. Ramey. Is there any discussion among the committee? Yes, Ms. Richards.
I happened to actually watch something that used a very similar technology, and it was a documentary, and it was very successful, and I applaud you for this. Again, I applaud the Energy and Environmental Department for obtaining these grants. It's amazing how much money you get, so that it reduces what we're spending. So I fully support this program.
All right, anyone else wish to comment? Yes, Mr. Malaguti.
Thank you. This Project Wally pilot is actually one of a few first steps that we are doing to not just help the environment, but also protecting our recreational bodies as well too, as we've seen a lot in the past, not just in other communities, but here, that there's been a lot of either cyanobacteria activity or other algal blooms that have deterred or closed permanently parts of our recreational bodies of water that are so vital, not just to our residents to recreate, but also for our tourism industry, for hiking, ecotourism, and just recreating the ponds themselves. So any steps like this and combining with nature-based solutions, I think is a win-win for the community. Thank you.
Any other comments from the committee? All right, seeing and hearing none. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Ms. Keating?
Yes.
I heard a yes. Mr. Malaguti?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
I think I heard a yes. All right. Mr. Ramey?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trudell?
Yes.
All right, we have 12 and 4, none opposed, none abstaining, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next up, item A5, at the airport, runway 6/24 reconstruction. Welcome.
Thank you. Short guy. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us. My
And
name
your
is
name,
Doug.
please?
My name is Doug Cresciati. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Plymouth Airport Commission.
Great.
Accompanied tonight with Airport Manager Paul Wister and Airport Manager Matt Cardillo and my fellow Commissioner Paul Wister.
Thank you.
We're here to present the articles that we're going for, and I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Wister to present the article for you.
As Doug said, Mr. Chair, Madams, Vice Chair, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Paul Wister, Airport Commissioner for over 24 years, and I'm also the Airport Commissioner representative to the new Plymouth Advisory Committee. I'd be here with Ken Frashad. Ken Fosdick. Ken unfortunately had a prior commitment, so otherwise I'm stuck. You're stuck with me.
We're
so
blessed.
The Airport Commission has submitted 2 articles for the town meeting. Both of these articles refer to replacement pavements on the airport and are critical to the continued safety of operations and subsequent reductions of our liabilities. As background info, the airport undergoes routine reviews of capital improvement projects. Each year, the FAA requests our submissions of priority and sometimes less than priority projects. We typically have a dozen or more projects, with many being carried year to year based on need and/or changing priorities, and of course, available federal funds. As you know, this year is going to be particularly challenging. However, this year, with the potential of the FAA to cover 95% of the funding instead of their usual 90%, we're requesting the reconstruction of runway 0624 as defined in Article A5. The second article, A6, deals with total repavement of a heavily used back taxiway. As stated in the articles, there are some, or I should say, these are one-for-one reconstructions with no changes to the existing layout of Plymouth Airport. Per normal, the local funds are entirely out of the airport's enterprise account. While we are hopeful for that unique one-time funding of 95% federal share for Article A5, we're prepared to cover our full local share at 5% instead of the 2.5% if required. The first article for runway 0624 construction is in accordance with the airport's master plan, this year's capital improvement submission to the FAA, and in keeping with our obligations under the FAA grant assurances to maintain a functioning and safe airport. The second article resolves an increasingly compromised taxiway and is funded by the FAA at 86%, leaving us a 7% share. Again, a far lower impacting project, so it's easy for us to handle that one. Once again, to emphasize the airport's need to reconstruct pavements is critical, no different than our local highway department's periodic road replacements. We're happy to take any questions.
All right, for expedience sake, while we're starting out with Article A4, we will continue to vote on the A4 and A5 separately, but feel free to ask questions about either one. All right, so any questions on either Article A4 or A5. Go ahead, Ms. What?
It's A5 and A6.
Excuse me, A5 and A6, my bad. Thank you. So we will combine the discussion on those two. Are there any questions from the committee? Yes, Ms. Richards.
The reconstruction, is that just a repaving?
Yes, because of the nature of aviation, it's not like a highway. You have impact, landing impact with aircraft landing gear, therefore it's designed a little differently than roadways that have linear traffic. These have obviously three-dimensional potential hard landing traffic.
Sorry, I don't think it's, I'm sorry. My question, let me clarify. Are you expanding it, lengthening it, or are you just fixing what's there?
Yeah, no, this is strictly a one-for-one existing runway. So we're 4,350 feet right now by 75 feet wide. It will be a exact replacement of that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? So go ahead, Mr. Snyder.
Has the FAA been following through on their promises of funding?
Well, years to date, yes. Currently, we're not so sure.
So if that funding doesn't come through, this would not be done, right?
Well, exactly. Or it may be that it comes through at the 90% and we have to, again, use our 5% share. We're pretty confident right now that it will come through at least at the 90% funding level. Again, we're expecting that because they have told us that they are anticipating funding at 95%. We're optimistic it will come through that way. But they have been very good, and the airport's got an incredible reputation with the FAA in Mass Department of Transportation Aeronautics for when we commit to a project, they come through and make sure it happens for us.
And the same thing with Mass DOT, the money's going to come through from them too?
That's correct.
Okay.
If the FAA is going to do it, MassDOT always comes through too.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions from committee members? Ms. Richards.
So if you do not get the funding, is that you're withdrawing this article? You will not be going forward?
I consider it, we all consider it pretty much a safety of flight issue. So because it's been on I actually had our capital improvement plan from 2018, and it was lower on the list because the runway condition was so much better that many years ago, 8, 9 years, math in public, 7, 8 years ago.
So you have the budget, you're budgeting 9.2 million, but you're thinking you're only putting in 460,000.
Correct.
So if you don't get the other 8 million or 7 million, whatever it is, whatever the balance is after the 460, if you don't get that other, say, approximately 8 million or
No, because
7,800,000, if you don't get that, you're not going forward, I'm assuming.
That's correct.
That's my ask, is.
Yeah, that's correct.
If you don't get that, the rest of that money, you're not going forward. You're not going to be.
That's correct.
Because we're going to be approving the whole thing.
It literally starts at the federal level to the state level.
Well, we have to, I know, but.
May I interrupt?
Sure.
Ms. Barrick, would you please answer this question? I believe the question is that if the federal funding doesn't
You'll
come.
only be appropriating the airport share, the 460. You're not,
No, I was under the impression, so we have to approve the whole thing, even though our share is only 460.
at town meeting,
Yeah.
you will only be appropriating 460,000.
Okay, very
You
good.
don't approve or authorize the grant funding at all.
And that 460,000 represent what percentage of the project?
5%.
All right, and if you have to come up with a 10% match, you will not be able to move forward, is that correct?
We need, again, it starts federal, state, local. We're only asking for the authority to spend the 460,000.
Okay.
With the expectation, it will actually drop to 230,000. Is that a little more clear?
Yes. Is it contingent upon receiving the other money?
It's in contingent, again, top-down. Without that $8 million from the feds, the state share, then
So that's a
there's,
yes.
there's nothing coming from the enterprise account.
So yes, it is contingent.
It's contingent.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions regarding Article A5 and A6? Is there any questions from the public? Seeing and hearing none. Ms. Richards, excuse me, Ms. Richards, would you care to move line item A5, runway 624 reconstruction?
Yes, I move A5, airport reconstruction.
And Mr. Snyder, would you care to move second this motion?
I'll second it, sure.
All right, so we have a first from Ms. Richards, a second from Mr. Snyder. Is there any discussion among the committee? All right, seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. Ms. Butler?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Ms. Keating?
Yes.
Mr. Malaguti?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Mr. Ramey?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trudell?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 12 yes, 0 no, and 0 abstentions. We will now move on to line item A6. Ms. Tompkins, would you care to make a motion to approve line item A6?
So moved.
All right, and Mr. Trudell, would you care to second?
A second.
All right, we have a first from Ms. Tompkins, a second from Mr. Trudell. Is there any discussion among the board committee? Seeing and hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Ms. Butler, how do you vote? Yes. Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Ms. Keating?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Malaguti?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Mr. Ramey?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trudell?
Yes.
All right, motion carries 12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstentions. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Appreciate it. Sorry for the confusion. Airport Commission thanks you all.
Okay, we're now on to the Police Department HVAC.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Carl Anderson, Facilities Division. There is no A7, there's no request for a police station HVAC. We
Right,
have a
must be working
contingency
from an
for
old sheet
a
then, so-
project that we have.
No motion, no action. Okay, thank
In
you.
progress, yes, sir.
All right. All right, on to Article A8, Fire Department overhead doors.
Yes, Facilities Division is requesting a sum of $144,440 to replace bay doors at Fire Station 1, 3, and 6. Station 1, built in 1978, 3 in 2001, and 6 in 1997, have apparatus bay doors that are in need of replacement. We've had a condition assessment completed of the overhead doors and determined that they are deteriorating and problematic at these locations due to age, frequent usage, and parts availability. They should be replaced to prevent any delay in apparatus egress due to a faulty door.
All right, any questions for Mr. Anderson? All right, anyone wish to make a public comment or question on this particular item? Ms. Butler?
I did go to our local station, which is 7, I think, and they showed me what was going wrong with the doors, and that they're buckling, and that sometimes it wouldn't go up right or come down right, and so they need this help.
Okay.
So I support it.
Thank you.
Mr. Snyder, you have a question.
I do. I'm just wondering if you went out to bid on this thing.
We did not. We've gone to our contractor, Overhead Door, and they provided us quotes for the project.
Because there are several companies that offer those doors, and you would think that maybe there'll be some competition, and maybe prices might be better.
Yes.
Unless overhead doors are
Ms. Barrett, could you please approach the mic? So Lynn Barrett, Director of Finance for the town.
So based on the threshold, he would have to go out to bid, because it's over 50,000. So you'd have to get quotes. You have to officially go out to bid to different contractors and get prices, because it's over 50. He'd have to follow procurement rules.
I think
So
you mentioned if they're under state contract, there's an exception.
If they're a state contract and they provide these doors, then you can purchase off of a state contract.
So there was only one company that provided them on that state contract?
This is his quote. He got a quote from this one company. After town meeting, if it gets approved, then he would do the official procurement.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I think I misunderstood your question, Mr. Snyder. I thought your question was, did we go to bid to get these numbers? No, the answer is no.
Great. Any other questions from the committee? Any member of the public wish to ask a question or comment? Seeing and hearing none, I believe we are back up to the top of the order. So Ms. Butler, would you care to make a motion to move item A8?
So moved.
All right. And Mr. Dunn, would you care to second?
Second.
All right, we have a first from Ms. Butler, a second from Mr. Dunn. Is there any discussion among the committee on item A8? Seeing and hearing none. The vote, I'll do the vote now. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto,
Yes.
Ms. Keating,
Yes.
Mr. Malaguti,
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
already yes, Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Ms. Richards,
Yes.
Mr. Snyder,
No.
okay, Ms. Tompkins,
Yes.
Mr. Trudell.
Yes?
All right, we have 11 yes, 1 opposed, no abstentions, the motion carries. All right, we're on to item A9, Public Works Visitors Center Addition. Mr. Anderson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Facilities Division is requesting funding support to complete renovations, including expansion to the Visitor Center to support the increased level of tourism in Plymouth. The expansion project will allow more room at the front for tourist inquiries and conversation while allowing access to the public restrooms through an exterior door. This one is contingent, well, it's a little convoluted. We are waiting for the results of a MOT grant. That's the Mass Office of Travel and Tourism. The request through MOT was for a $200,000 grant. We have not received affirmation of receipt of that. So on Tuesday, the Select Board voted 3-1 and recommended to reduce the request from $378,518 to $178,518 and returning to town meeting in the spring if the grant is not approved or if it's approved in an amount less than the requested $200,000. So the request, based on the Select Board's decision on Tuesday, is now $178,518 to aid in the support of the expansion and renovations to the Visitor Center.
Okay, Ms. Richards, you have a question.
Good evening. So today, my colleague, Ms. Butler, and I visited, I visited the Visitor Center. In addition, and I found that you're in desperate need of an upgrade. That is absolutely not a question. But also, in talking to a couple of people I know in DPW, and I found that we also own some other properties. One of them being the old Cherry's Bait Shop, which is town-owned, right in the center. It's 151 Water Street, thank you. And it looks, and not to derail your project, but it sounds like, you're kind of waiting for some funding. And with the Select Board's recommendation, I would suggest, and this is just my suggestion, hold off on this, take a look at that other building, which could maybe meet your needs and may even meet it better, in renovating that, and instead of putting an addition onto something that may or may not really meet the needs of the people who work there. That would be my suggestion. Even though, Cherry's Bait Shop, it's been there for a long time, it may need a little bit of work, but I think the money that you're asking for is going to go way further there, and you'll get more bang for your buck in square footage. Anyway, and I do have a question. As far as who is going to build, who's your builder?
We don't have a builder
Are you
selected
going
at
to be,
this
are you
time.
using staff,
Town staff?
town staff, carpenters?
That's not the plan, no.
Okay. I was just curious.
I
Okay.
would just like to say, I like your idea as well with the bait shack.
Yeah.
At the time of this was originated,
It wasn't available.
it was not vacant at
Yeah.
that time, so we didn't proceed in that direction.
Yeah, but it's in a prime spot, and
Yes,
it's big, and, anyway, thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. Malaguti?
Yes, this is actually for the chair. Could we hear from the director of C Plymouth and also the chairman of the Visitor Services Board for their acknowledgement of this project and for why this is recommended?
I would welcome that.
Thank you.
So please, whoever wishes to speak, come forward to the microphone and introduce yourself. Or both of you.
I'm not denying.
I know that all too well.
Hello,
I'll explain
I
after
am-
the meeting. Go ahead, welcome, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Lee Filson. I am President CEO of C Plymouth. Our contract with the town of Plymouth puts in my purview running that center. And while Cherry's Bait Shop is a good thought, I think what we would find is it would be probably 3 or 4 times more expensive for us to do what you're suggesting. In the present visitor center that we're in right now, the only thing that is needed is just to bump it out about 20 feet to add a second door and a ramp. And that would give us what we need to operate for the time being. We would, if we were to, when we talked about rebuilding the entire thing, the cost came in at well over $2 million. And so that's why we decided to stay put and do what we can for the time being. But in addition to that, like for Cherry's Bait Shop, we would have to add additional urinals. We would have to add additional bathroom facilities. We would have to add additional space for display of things that we already have on display at the visitor center. So I just feel like that this is also a more visible location for us, and it would probably be better to stay put.
Okay, thank you.
Steve Lyden, Visitor Service Board. This whole idea came up around COVID, and since COVID, we've had Weston and Sampson come in with plans. We've talked to 3 or 4 directors of the DPW. I just heard about the Cherry Street Bait Shack tonight, and I was thinking about it, and I think Lee Filson has the right idea. Right now, bathrooms are a problem in Plymouth for our visitors. The only ones down that area would be where the Mayflower is, and now you're extending it, other bathrooms down by, the bait shack. I think that would be an inconvenience. The other thing I'd like to mention is that the Visitors Service Board voted to give Sea Plymouth $225,000 for this project, because our purview is to support tourism, and that's what we try to do. And if the grant does not come in, or if it does come in, it's 1 year. If you don't use it in a year, you use it or you lose it. So we couldn't do fall town meeting and then, and then get the grant, when it comes through, say in a couple of weeks. That year starts then. So it's going to be, there's no way I think we're going to be able to we'll lose that grant if we don't do it. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Butler, do you have a question? Why don't we save that for deliberation, please? All right, Ms. Tompkins.
Hi, I'm just wondering what the hours of operation for the bathroom, would it be accessible out of hours that are, when the center is closed?
The one that we're doing now, in order to put a second door that goes to those restrooms?
Would you lock the inside door and have outside access for additional hours after it's closed?
That would be up to the town if they wanted to, to pay the additional money for cleaning, et cetera. But as it stands now, with the contract we've got now, it would be open when the hours are open.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Leiden.
When it comes to bathrooms, the bathrooms at the side of this building were closed for years. The Visitors Service Board went to the town, and we're paying $10,000 a year to keep those bathrooms open on weekends and holidays. The harbor master came to us and, he said, people, can we keep our bathrooms open because people still want to use them? The Visitors Service Board is paying another $3,000 for that. So bathrooms are expensive. Believe me, I didn't realize that, but they are. So bathrooms are, we just don't have enough in this town.
Thank you for the additional information.
Any other questions? Mr. Malaguti.
Thank you. With this project, and I'm in sentiment across the board that, yes, it is a large amount of money, but I feel that, one, while we want to attract tourism here, we've done a very bad job at actually giving the infrastructure that's needed for the tourism industry. And this building, while it was gifted and crafted by our tech department, I believe it was Plymouth South students many years ago, that it is showing its age and also its lack of ADA compliance. I believe that this is the best option in the near term for us to give at least something back, not just for the residents, but for the tourism industry that's supporting our business, our tax dollars, and keeping people employed, whether they're local or outside of the community. I believe that this project, keeping it in the location it's in, is the best identifier. It's been there for 30-plus years, and it's a stop that not just the tourists know that are regular visitors, but also where the tour groups and buses regularly have people congregate, and where we have other modes of transportation services line up as well too, because it's a central spot that everyone is gathering in that area before they disperse throughout the rest of the town. So I'm 100% supportive of this project, and if possible, I would like to make a motion for the full funding request of the $378,000 and change that this project needs. And the rationale is, one, because the grant, whether we get it or not, we have the timeline on it, and two, we've had this problem in the past with other projects that we keep going back for more and more and more of other town meetings for projects if we have cost overruns or something else happens unexpectedly. So I believe having the money in there at the beginning is a safeguard for us, and we can always reduce that after town meeting is over and the project is done and put it back into the free cash system. Thank you.
So, Mr. Malaguti, we're still in the question phase of things, so when we move to deliberation.
Certainly, thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions, Mr. Jacinto?
Has there been any other major work done to the building in the last 30 years?
The town has done a great job maintaining it. I couldn't say enough nice things about DPW and the cleaning service, frankly, but one thing that I didn't mention is the urgency of the situation. We have needed it to expand the size of this for probably over 10 years, probably 12 years or so, and with this project, we could finish it by next season, and that would be very, very good. I also have, this is my third trip to try to get this completed. The first year, I was able to put together all of the money, including $90,000 from the state. And unfortunately, DPW's schedule was not such that we could go ahead and get it done, and we couldn't get it finished. The second year, I also got $90,000 from the state, and at that time, again, by that time, the price had gone up so much that even though VSB kindly added more money to that, we still couldn't meet the price to do it. This is the first year that this is my third chance at this, and my staffers in the visitor center need it desperately, and there's a constant flow of people going to and from the bathroom in front of their area where they bump into each other and all of that, where if all we had was 20 more feet, a door right, and also, by the way, we need that second door in the visitor center, but if we had that, that would lead to the restrooms, and of course, a new ADA ramp to go with all of that, that would solve our problem. If we keep putting it off, it costs more and more every single year. So the urgency is the real reason that we need to ask for this.
Yes, Mr. Lloyd.
I'd just like to say one more thing, that the $200,000 would be a grant from the state. The other $225 that they have in their account that was given to them by the VSB does not come from the taxpayers of Plymouth. That's all state, that's all comes from the state, so $178,000 isn't much compared to you don't want to lose $200,000. And I don't know if the VSB will be willing to hold off, and how much longer they'll be able to hold off. There was no action done, and take their money back, and stop the grant because of no action. Thank you.
Ms. Richards, do you have a question? All right. Any other questions? All right, I do have one question. Is there a completed design at this point?
There's not. There's
Okay.
a concept design.
All right.
There's no stamped drawings or anything official.
Okay, thank you. All right, any further questions from the committee? Is there anyone from the public that wishes to comment? All right, hearing and seeing none. Mr. Malaguti, would you care to move item A9, Visitor Center Addition?
So moved.
All right, and I think we're down to Ms. O'Connor. Would you care to second?
Seconded.
All right, we have a first, we have a second. Is there any discussion among the committee? Mr. Ramey, I see your hand is up.
I just want to comment on the public bathrooms. I grew up here, so I didn't really think about it, but I was away for about 10 years and lived in various parts of the country where there are public bathrooms, and coming back here, it's torture, not just for tourists, but for the people that live here. So it's really great to hear you talk about that. And if they could stay open all the time, I think that would be awesome.
All right, I think Mr. Malaguti is next, and I'll work my way down the line.
Thank you. So my first comment is, would it be now that I would make my motion for the full funding of the 378,518, or are we still with the 178,518?
We are, we've already have a motion for A9 at the presented amount.
I would like to withdraw my motion to make a new motion.
Oh, now you're going to test my knowledge of Robert's rules. I think the way I would prefer to handle this is treat it as an amendment to the motion on the floor. So if you could state it that way, please. You'd like-
Certainly, I'd like to amend my motion to request full funding of $378,518 of the original ask for this article.
All right, is there a second to that?
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. All right, Mr. Pizarro, you wish to second that motion to increase the funding to, what was the number again? All right, all right. Yeah, I know, I just don't have that in front of me at the moment. I have other things to keep track of. All right, so I'm going to call this A9A, amended motion. Is there discussion? So Mr. Malaguti was the motion to amend, and Mr. Pizarro has seconded. The amendment is Mr. Snyder.
When you amend a motion to increase the amount, you need to say where that money is coming from. So where is that going to be coming from?
It is coming from free cash as the amount voted by the select board is coming from.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to our finance director.
Yeah, I was just going to look on.
I'd like to know
My note
if the
in the
money is
notes here,
available for
but
that.
maybe, Ms. Barrett, would you be able to answer that question, please? So, Ms. Lynn Barrett, Director of Finance for the town.
So a couple of issues. I just want to let you know that Selectmen did vote the other night that this submittal for this project is for $178,000. So I don't know if you guys can actually vote to increase it tonight, but I need to get like council's opinion on that. So if you're going to, you may have to re-vote at a future meeting. But if that was the case, then then we would have to either borrow or take from free cash. But we would have to take a look at that to see what comes in.
So, if I hear you correctly, what Mr. Anderson presented was, at some point in our materials, was total capital was $378,518. And what I'm hearing you say is the select board has actually only authorized for this particular item in Article 4, the set amount of $178,518.
$518, yes. They did vote that on Tuesday.
All right, so we have a dilemma here is that if we do vote on this amendment, we may have to come back and, or we could table this particular item until we can get answers to the question. But I think the challenge at the moment is there's no source of funding for your amendment.
So if I could just ask a question on that. So with the original submittal of this project, which was the $378,518, was there the chance of ever putting any funding or a possible part of funding in there if the grant didn't come in? Because that would be part of the budget-making process.
There was discussion about that the other night at Tuesday's meeting, but the selectmen voted that they did not want to do that at this time. They wanted to wait to hear the results of the pending grant, and if it was successful, then you would get the 200 and you'd get the 178 at town meeting. If it was not successful, and we didn't know that before town meeting, then we would have to go to the town meeting in the spring for it.
So what I was asking though is when the project was submitted, say that there was no grant funding, would you have prescribed any funding source for it besides just the 178 on there? Because we can't always rely on grants for every single project.
Is that a question or?
Yes.
Okay, so you're asking me if the submittal was for 378,000, where would we have that funding source?
Yes.
It would either come from borrowing or free cash, depending on what free cash comes in certified and what we plan to use that for. So I couldn't tell you that tonight.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Dunn, you have your hand up?
Thank you. I don't necessarily think that we have to follow what the select board did. We've not followed them many times. Town meeting has the ultimate call on this, which is why we're making this recommendation and why this decision isn't just made by the select board and it goes to town meeting. So I think we 100% can do this, and I think I'll probably vote for it.
If I could just make a comment.
Please,
So
Ms.
it's
Barrett.
It's the selectmen's warrant, and they voted to have this be submitted at 178. So it is their warrant. So the budget is different. Like, you go to town meeting a lot of times, and advisory and finance recommends something different than the select board, and vice versa. And that happens all the time. This is different. This is a specific warrant item, warrant article, specific project, and that is what they're requesting, is the 178.
I appreciate that. I'm still comfortable voting on it.
So if this motion were to pass, then it would be the Administration of Finance recommends to town meeting that item A9 be approved using the 378,518 of local funds, either through the use of borrowing or free cash. Mr. Ramey.
What happens if we do that and they vote on that and then the grant gets approved? What happens to that 200,000 from the grant?
I believe then the local funds, go ahead. I'll allow it even though we are in deliberation.
Thank you for allowing me to step in on this. If the grant comes in, the money that we get from the grant would be, that would pay for part of it, and then that would go away. It would just be contingent upon that. But if we only get 100,000 or whatever amount we got, the rest would go back.
Yes, Mr. Snyder.
So I would assume that Mr. Malaguti would specify in his motion that that full amount will be, we'd be voting for that if the grant doesn't go through. If the grant goes through, there would be no need for it. So it'd have to be some kind of contingency plan in terms of the way we're voting here. Because,
Right, so the
you know what I'm
amendment, could be worded such that it could be up to that amount to be reduced by any amount of any grant received in support of the project. So I don't like to assume what this, actually, Mr. Dunn has his hand up.
I was just going to say similar to what you're saying now.
Okay. I don't like to assume, because you know what happens when you do that, but it could be a strategy of the select board to not show that support in the hopes of springing that money loose from the state, and I can appreciate that. I think the challenge is if that strategy doesn't happen, and again, I will ask the visitor center team here this evening to understand what the impact would be to the visitor center if this has to get delayed to town meeting in the spring. So if you could approach the microphone, please.
It means that we would be yet another year with doing nothing, but it also means that if we have as we go after it again in the next year, it also means that we're going to have to raise that much more money, and that makes the chance even less likely that we're going to get the money. So.
All right. So, Mr. Dunn?
I was just gonna make a comment and say that I support this. I think we should do this project regardless of whether we get the grant or not, and I don't think we should wait, so I support allocating the full amount.
All right, so I think then if we're going to do this motion, I suggest Mr. Malaguti might want to reword it to say that we recommend the funding at the full 378 to be reduced by any, to be
Less
funded
anyway.
by free cash or borrowing as necessary, and that the local amount would be reduced by the amount of any grants received.
I think you said it better than I could.
What?
I think you said it better than I could.
All right. Did you get that, Jeanette?
I did. I would just suggest saying up to the
That would be fine. So it'd be up to that amount. So it would be funding up to the amount of 378,518.
Less any grants.
Less any grants received. All right, so if Mr. Malaguti is going to make that motion, and if Mr. Pizarro wants to second that, so we're just sticking with the one amendment. All right? Yeah, anyway, so do you make that amended motion, Mr. Malaguti?
Yes, I will make
Okay.
the amended motion based on the wording of the chair.
All right, and Mr. Pizarro, do you accept that friendly amendment?
I do.
Okay,
Second.
great. Is there any further discussion among the committee? All right, seeing and hearing none, we're in deliberations at this point, so. All right, Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Ms. Keating?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Malaguti?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Mr. Ramey?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trudell?
Yes.
All right, 12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstention. The amended motion carries. Thank you all very much. Thank you. All right. All right, this is the last opportunity for public comment this evening. All right, I seeing and hearing none. As a reminder, we are meeting next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And in addition to Article 12, we will hear Articles 7 and 8 prior to that, because I expect Article 25 to be a lively topic. And I believe we are not meeting on the 18th. Is that correct? That is correct. Okay, so please take that off your calendars. And the last update is I have about 6 precincts reporting for precinct caucuses. I met Christine Ford in the hallway, and I'll try to push that along. And with that, let's see, I'm lost at this point, but Ms. Richards wanted to make a motion at one point. So Ms. Richards, would you care to move that we adjourn for the evening?
I move that we adjourn for the evening.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And Mr. Snyder, would you care to second that?
I would care to second it.
All right. By any chance, is there any discussion on this item? All right, seeing and hearing none. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Jacinto?
Yes.
Ms. Keating?
Yes.
Is that a yes? Okay, great. Mr. Malaguti?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Mr. Ramey?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Trudell, we have a unanimous vote of 12 yes, 0 no, 0 abstentions. We are adjourned at 38 after the hour.